In today's show, the Trailblazers lose to the Kings in a game they actually won in overtime. Yeah, there was a lot going on. An ugly win. Welcome to Locked On Blazers. Let's get into it.
You are Locked On Trailblazers, your daily Portland Trailblazers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What's up, world? It's your past first point guard and Trailblazers reporter Mike Richmond. You're listening to another episode of Locked On Blazers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, available wherever you get podcasts and also on YouTube. Thanks for making this show your first listen, coming at you each and every weekday, Monday through Friday. So make it a part of your daily routine. Make it your first listen. Tell your friends to do the same. Locked On Blazers, your team every day. In today's program, we're talking about a game the Blazers lost. Oh, no, they won. They won, but it really felt like a loss. A meltdown to close the fourth quarter, a meltdown to close overtime, and then a bailout at the buzzer. They leave the arena with a W, but a gross one. We will get into all of that. Shaedon Sharpe has a monster first half. We'll talk about some of the good stuff that happened. The Blazers ripped this game open in the fourth quarter, then gave it away. We'll get into the nitty-gritty of how they gave it away, because I think this was a sense, talking to folks in the locker room afterwards, that this was like an exhale type game. Not a game to be proud of, not a game that you feel good about, but a game that you get the win and you exhale. We'll talk about the relief and why the Blazers needed to exhale, because yuck, the end of both fourth quarter and OT were a mess. And the Blazers, this is about as ugly as a game. It's about as bad a win as you could possibly cook up. We'll get into all that, and we'll do our fastest recap in the West, because that's what we do. There's so much that happened in this game. Let's try to. I will try to get it all for you. Blazers playing the Kings. No Zach LaVine. Still no Domantas Sabonis, who's out for a long time. No Shaq of Troutdale. Your boy Drew Eubanks is also out. He's not that notable, but I just wanted to say Shaq of Troutdale. Blazers are mostly back and healthy in the way that they are healthy right now, which means they still don't have any point guards, but pretty much everybody else is ready to go. And they're playing the Kings in the first of two games. It's a home and home. They play here in Portland, and then on Saturday they'll play in Sacramento. These two teams will meet up again, and boy, will you want to see this one again. Blazers win 134-133 in a game that they absolutely lost several times, and then they came away with a win. A buzzer-defying win. It was a truly defiant of the basketball gods and all that is righteous, but you do not have to give it back. This is an absolute run-and-hide game. And Portland, playing the short-handed Kings, who are bad. To be clear, the Kings are a bad basketball team. Give up 40 points in the first quarter. But the Blazers' offense is humming. Shaedon Sharpe's got 15 points. They make 6 of their 9 three-pointers. Because the first 9 three-pointers, they make 7 of the first 11 three-pointers. They shoot 58% from the floor in the first quarter, but the Kings had 22 points in the paint and were shooting 63%, and that's why they were up 4. Like, the offense was humming. They just weren't guarding anyone. Kind of got it back in a little bit in that second quarter. Kings turned the ball over 7 times. Blazers stopped getting shredded in the paint. So they only gave up 10 points. Thiago Splitter clearly searching for something with this team, like not able to get stops. He went with his huge jumbo lineup briefly with Denny Avdia, Chris Murray, Jeremy Grant, Rob Williams, and Duop Reith. Then he took Rob Williams out and put in Donovan Clingan. They got somehow the huge lineup got bigger. Then that didn't work. They we got a Caleb Love cameo in the first half. Played 11 dudes in the first half, just searching for it. But the Blazers going to halftime up 3. Shaedon Sharpe continues cooking. He's got 20 points at the break, 8 of 9 shooting, 4 of 5 from 3. Another really nice outside shooting game from Shea. When he makes threes, he is a really hard player to stop. Donovan Clingan 11 and 5 in the first half, and the Blazers, if not, they haven't pulled away. In fact, neither team would lead by double digits or triple digits, but double digits for the first 3 quarters. And the Blazers come out of halftime, and they stunk in the third quarter. They just did not play well. They were 0 of 8 from 3. The Kings were 0 of 4 from 3, a very rare NBA quarter where no team made a three-pointer. The Kings don't take threes. They're like anachronistic. They're and in real life they take in like their average as a team is 33s a game. The Kings attempted 19 in this one that went to overtime. Truly, no team in the league, only one team in the league averages fewer than 30. The NBA average by team for threes per game is 36.9. Basically 37 threes a game is the average the team shoots. Kings shot half of that in a game that went to overtime. But the Blazers are down 1 after heading into the third quarter. They started the game 6 of 9 from 3. Then they made 4 of their next 24. The bricks are coming. Shaedon Sharpe, who had an awesome first half, wasn't particularly good in the third quarter. He goes 1 of 8. But like, it's a 1-point game. You're going to have to, win it in the fourth. And the Blazers rip off a 25-6 run over the first 7 minutes of the fourth quarter and end this game. This thing is over. Russell Westbrook gets called for a flagrant foul for tripping Toumani Camara. The Kings are falling apart at the seams. Blazers take their first double-digit lead with 7 minutes to go in the game. They stretch it out. They lead by as many as 18. They hadn't led by they led by 10 when Shaedon Sharpe kind of scored a semi-transition bucket with 7 minutes left. They just ran off on them. A 25-6 run to open the quarter, up 18 in this game. They're cruising. Blazers start 8 of 12, 4 of 5 from 3 in the fourth, no turnovers, and it's over, right? Up 15, 2:28 left. Up 15 with 2:03 left when Shaedon Sharpe misses a layup. They had the ball in this game up 3 with 2 minutes and up 15 with 2 minutes and 3 seconds left. A 15-point lead and the ball at the 2-minute mark. I guess the 2:05 mark. And this game's going to overtime. They immediately after that foul on a 3, yuck. Miss a long jumper, foul Russell Westbrook, yuck. Miss a 3, get an offensive rebound, commit a shot clock violation, yuck. Kings come down, hit a 3. If you go up 8 straight points, it's a 7-point game. Shaedon Sharpe misses a mid-range jumper. DeMar DeRozan gets fouled. He makes both. It's a 5-point game. Kings now have to intentionally foul. We're under a minute to go. Shaedon Sharpe steps to the free throw line, 28 seconds left, misses both free throws. Kings get the ball back. Russell Westbrook gets to the rim, a layup inside, 3-point game. The Blazers turn the ball over on the inbounds play. This would be a theme for them. They're struggling to get the ball inbounds, and so they call a timeout to set up an inbounds play. Toumani Camara at this point has fouled out. He's their typical late game inbounder. They're trying it with Chris Murray, and they try to throw the ball in, and it just sails. Nobody can get a hand on it. Kings do a good job denying. Sails out of bounds. Blazers give the ball back to the Kings in a 3-point game with about 18 seconds left. They foul Russell Westbrook up 3. They're a foul up 3 team. They're going to play to their identity. They foul up 3. Russell Westbrook hits both free throws. It's 113-112. Blazers up by 1. There's 14 seconds left. They got to get the ball in. They do. Deni Avdija fouled, makes the first free throw. Up by 2. Here you go. Misses the second. But on the rebound, Donovan Clingan and Maxime Reynaud, the Kings' rookie big man who had an awesome game. They fight for the rebound. Reynaud can't control it in the fight for the rebound. It goes off his ankle, foot, shin, or whatever, and out of bounds. Blazers going to get it back. Up 2. Get the ball back. Under 10 seconds left in the game. But the Blazers are out of timeouts. And so they get the ball inbounds from the baseline, from the far right baseline near the Kings bench, and Clingan is the one who gets the inbounds pass. They don't sub Clingan out. I don't know why. I'll talk about this later in the show. Clingan gets the ball, fouled in the corner, hits the first, misses the second. Kings get the rebound. 115-112, 12 seconds left. I said under 10 seconds before. I meant under 12. Kings get the rebound. Call timeout. Down 3. Blazers are a foul up 3 team, right? They're going to foul. On the inbounds play from the sideline, the ball kind of gets deflected, caroms off Deni Avdija and bounces to DeMar DeRozan. He gets it in the corner, pump fakes, gets a Chris Murray flyby, and steps into a 3-pointer. Cash. 7 seconds left. Blazers are out of timeouts because, again, they've had to call timeouts to set up an inbounds pass that they then immediately turn the ball over out of. Jeremy Grant gets it, pushes just over 7 seconds left when DeMar DeRozan hits it. Jeremy Grant pushes the other way, takes a leaning 3-pointer way off, headed to overtime. 17-2 over the final minute and 53 seconds. The Blazers were up 15 and had the ball at the 2:05 mark, gave up a 17-2 run to close regulation, and were going to overtime tied at 115. A meltdown of meltdowns. A stupid foul on a three-point shooter. Multiple fouls on DeRozan getting fouled, Westbrook getting fouled. And it's not that I don't believe in the stopping the clock stuff. I'm not worried about it. It's like they say, oh, you let him score with the clock stopped. If the dude makes a layup, the clock stops friggin' anyways. Or like it's under 2 minutes. It's not a time thing. What it is on those free throws, one, they're easy shots, right? They're easier shots. Layups are some of them are very easy. Some of them are more challenging, but it's like, just defend without fouling. Defend without fouling. Don't send them to the free throw line. And moreover, it's not about the clock or the time or scoring with the clock stopped or whatever adage you've heard someone say on TV that's just like nonsense and is like not true to the actual way the sport works. They can go back and set their defense. They can walk back and set their defense. So because the Blazers foul on a three, give up a three, foul DeRozan, foul Russell Westbrook, and then foul, intentionally with up in an up three scenario, and then Denny misses a free throw, Klingon misses a free throw, and then you don't foul because you couldn't get to him on the last one. Like, just terrible execution and just sloppy stupidness, right? Just stupid. That late turnover in the inbounds is just, you gotta come to the ball. We'll talk about this more in the show. The game's still going on. With this fastest recap in the West, it used to be a thing where I tried to go through it fast, and now it's just a tongue-in-cheek word I use for making this a thing I talk about for a long time. Join me in the second segment. We'll talk about overtime and then everything else that went wrong in this game. I will see you there. Join me on the other side. Before we do that, though, I want to tell you that today's program is brought to you by DoorDash. The NBA season's heating up, and DoorDash has a way to keep fans in their bag the whole way through. Whether you're watching the highlights, you're watching a brutal overtime, or you're just checking out someone's tunnel fits or your favorite player on your fantasy team, DoorDash makes the entire season more fun because every player has their bag. With DoorDash, fans have one too. DoorDash keeps your snacks stocked, your gear fresh, your watch party vibes absolutely on point. Look, there are going to be nights when your team stresses you out, like they blow a 15-point lead in under 2 minutes. Let DoorDash become your post-game therapy. Sometimes you just need a little dessert right now. Plus, if you're waiting for the post-game interviews and suddenly you need chips at midnight, DoorDash is built for exactly that. The post-game interviews end at about 11 p.m. tonight. From tip-off to overtime, stay in your bag and order on DoorDash. Get snacks, drinks, gear, whatever gets you through the season delivered right to your door. DoorDash in your bag all season long. Today's show is also brought to you by Rocket Money. You ever feel like your money just disappears at the end of each month? It happens fast. A few subscriptions here, an impulse buy there, and suddenly the numbers in your bank account don't match the numbers in your head. Rocket Money helps you get clarity, track every dollar, and stay in control of your finances. Because managing your money shouldn't feel like a second job. Rocket Money does the heavy lifting for you so you can save more and stress less. Rocket Money finds subscriptions you forgot you were paying and helps you clean them up quickly. Plus, you can see all of your spending on one dashboard and makes it easier to understand where your money is going. And having the app find what you've previously spent and build a budget for you can take the stress out of all of the money managing steps you have to make along the way. Take control of your finances and cancel your unwanted subscriptions with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/lockedon today. That's rocketmoney.com/lockedon, rocketmoney.com/lockedon. All right. So, Blazers have just blown a 15-point lead in a minute and 53 seconds. They're in a world of hurt. It's going to overtime. It doesn't feel good. And Shaedon Sharpe ain't playing anymore because Shaedon Sharpe is on a 35 minutes limit. He's still, he's been dealing with this on and off with a calf issue all year long, and the Blazers have chosen as the way to sort of manage that is that he's not going to play over 35 minutes. So he gets to overtime. He's played 35 minutes and 2 seconds. His night is done. He had a great night. It was good, but he's not going to play anymore. He had 26 points on 11 of 22 shooting, 4 of 6 from 3. He started really, really, really hot, and he wasn't as good late, but 26 on 50% shooting is a good game. He just had a good game. But they don't have him in overtime. And then early in overtime, Jeremy Grant crams on Maxime Renaud. Crams on him. Renaud just gets, it was one of the great dunks of Jeremy Grant's career. He was a really, really, really athletic youngster. But now he's 31, and he gets up and he dunks all over, and the Blazers are up 6. They don't pull away in overtime, but they're up 6. They're up 6 with 30 seconds left in overtime. Kings hit a 3. Okay. Tough shot. DeMar DeRozan. Hey, he's not a 3-point shooter, but he kind of he came alive in that in the OT, and now the Blazers are they got 3 point. They're up 3, 20 seconds left, and they have to do one of the hardest things that they could possibly ever have to do, which is inbound the ball. You know they're going to turn it over. And they do. They turn the ball over, trying to get the ball in, up 3 with 30 seconds left, and the Kings are going to get it back. But the Blazers are a foul up 3 team. They did it in the regulation. They're going to do it in overtime too. They fouled DeMar DeRozan up 3. He hits both free throws. It's a 1-point game, 132-131 with 17.4 seconds left. Make your free throws, go home. But here's the thing, is right after that free throw is made, the second one, the Blazers struggle to get the ball in bounds from the baseline, so they have to take their final timeout. Welp. They set up the final inbounds play, and the ball goes into Donovan Clingan. What? Yep, that's who they threw it to. That's who was on the court, and he misses both. Clingan, when he was 5 of 11 before he steps to the free throw line for both those. There's 16 and a half seconds left. If he hits both, it's back to a 3-point game. The Blazers can play the foul game, they can chase it, etc., etc. But Donovan Clingan clangs both free throws. He had a rough night at the free throw line. I think team free throw shooting is one of the most bogus stats that people ever cite of all time. It's just incredibly bogus. Players shoot. Donovan Clingan struggled from the free throw line. He did. Kings get the ball. Down 1. 16 and a half seconds left. They kind of take their time. They're playing with confidence. I don't know if this person wants me to say that, so I'll give them anonymity, but someone who sits next to me on press row said, nobody in the building thinks the Blazers are going to win this game. And I was like, you're probably right. I certainly had lost faith. DeMar DeRozan gets the matchup he wants. They run a switch to him so he can get Sidi Sissoko. Cross, half pivot, get back to his fade, cash. 4.4 seconds left. The Blazers have called their final timeout. You'll remember they called their final timeout to set up their final inbounds play that got the ball to their center, who was 5 of 11 at the free throw line and missed 2, to give the Kings this opportunity. And now the Blazers have blown a 6-point lead with 30 seconds in overtime after blowing a 15-point lead with 2 minutes left in regulation. Yikes. And the Blazers push. And they race the other way. Clock ticking under 5 seconds. And Deni Avdija gets fouled. Draws a little contact from Russell Westbrook, but he didn't just get fouled. He misses a shot that he kind of throws up in desperation. The buzzer sounds, the Kings come out on the court and celebrate, and then all of a sudden, there's Mark Davis, the lead official, near midcourt saying, wait, I've got a foul. They go to the review, make sure the foul came, before the final buzzer. It did. 1.5 seconds left. Deni steps to the free throw line, hits both free throws. The Kings get a heave at the buzzer. Keon Ellis got a pretty good look at it, missed it off the backboard in the rim. Blazers win 134-133 in a game that they lost twice. In a game that literally the buzzer sounded and the other team celebrated. One of the worst played wins you'll ever see. The Blazers get a victory that felt like a loss. A world historic victory. One of the grossest wins you'll ever see. Coming into the locker room from the showers, Jeremy Grant, talking to his teammate Caleb Love, said, and I'm going to edit it here because it is not a family-friendly comment, but he said, that stuff was nasty. Somebody had to say it. He did not say that on the record, but he said it loud enough for all of us to hear because he was being honest. It was indeed gross. Gross. Deni Avdija asked after the game whether he thought he got fouled. He said, I actually totally agree. Deni was he's so honest. He's the best interview on the team. I thought he was, he sort of captured the exact way I feel about it. Like he said, he didn't, there was a moment where he kind of looked up and said, I can't believe we're going to blow this. He said, but you got to keep playing. And he got the ball and he said that he he maybe didn't think he was going to get the foul call, because they usually don't call that with a second left. And I agree with that 100%. I think Denny initiates the contact, but they call that in the league. You're allowed to, if you veer into a guy as a dribbler, that is typically a foul. And Denny is really good at that. And Russ does bump Denny on like the elbow, arm, whatever, forearm, elbow, as he's going up for a heave type of shot. It's a light bump, but it's a bump, and that's a foul. But my interpretation of it is they just never call that. They just never call that at the end of the games. They let you get away with a little bit more. They just never call that. And that's exactly what Denny said. He said, I didn't think, he was like, you can look at it, and I definitely got bumped, and, and Russ bumped me off my spot, and I tried to draw a foul, and like, and I thought, midway through, I guess it's not going to happen. I better put this on the rim. But Denny felt how I felt. They almost never call that. That is not a foul call that you often get. And so Denny kind of, had a moment. He said he was kind of processing things too fast to really be able to say like, oh, we lost, I'm mad, versus, oh, I'm going to hit 2 free throws. But like, he had a moment where he was like, starting to be like, what the heck was that? And then sees the foul call, says, okay, step up and hit him. He does. They win 134-133. That's your fast recap in the West. I think it took about 20 minutes, 21 and some change. Oh, man. So there's a lot to unpack in this one. I want to talk more about this late game stuff. There's so much that went into this that is just nobody gets to feel good about this one. Let's talk about what went wrong, both to close OT or close regulation and close OT. Join me in the third segment, and we will do just that. First, though, I want to tell you about Gusto. Let's be real. No one starts a business for the joy of calculating tax withholdings or managing payroll spreadsheets. That's where Gusto comes in, to take the stress out of payroll, benefits, and HR so you can focus on running your business and supporting your team. Gusto is the all-in-one remote-friendly payroll and HR platform that makes managing your team simple, transparent, and fast. Whether you're hiring, onboarding, or paying employees, Gusto helps you do it all from one place without hassle or hidden fees. It's got unlimited payroll runs for one monthly price, which means no surprise charges at the end of the month. And knowing you can reach certified HR experts anytime gives you real peace of mind. Plus, Gusto's got automated tools like offer letters, onboarding materials, and direct deposits that save you hours every week. Try Gusto today at gusto.com/LockedOnNBA and get 3 months free when you run your first payroll. That's right, 3 months of free payroll at gusto.com/LockedOnNBA. One more time, that's gusto.com/LockedOnNBA. Still a pass first point guard. I'm still Mike Richmond. You still listen to Locked On Blazers. I think Thiago Splitter said that he felt like the Blazers relaxed. Up 18, 5 minutes left in the game. The Kings stink, right? Like, I relaxed, quite frankly. I started building my little podcast graphics and getting my notes finalized, and I was thinking like, man, the Kings are bad. Oh, they're bad. They are the Kanks. This team's wait, what? It's a 5-point game? Oh no, he misses free throws? Oh no, it's like it just spiraled. So I think a lot of times there's a tendency to want to point the finger at one individual or one thing. This is the thing that caused it. It was so many things. Now, I don't know that anyone is free of blame here. So yeah, like obviously shooting bricks in the middle 2 quarters didn't help the Blazers very much. But when you get up 15 with a 25-6 run to open the fourth, when they're making shots, they're cooking. Like Jeremy Grant's really good to open to, Denny was really good to open in the fourth. Jeremy Grant's pretty darn good to open OT. Shaedon Sharpe had an awesome beginning of the game. Like, they get a little balance. They kind of, it wasn't pretty, but they're up big. But they foul on a 3. Shaedon Sharpe contesting Keon Ellis in a way he just didn't need to. The Kings don't shoot threes. They have not made threes. Keon Ellis was 1 of 6 from 3 when he attempted that. It's like, just make him shoot over a hand. Make him shoot over a hand. They haven't made threes. They're not a volume shooting team, and they're down 18. Make it hard on them. Sissoko is called for a foul inside on Russell Westbrook. It's just a light foul. He slaps him across the wrist. Incredibly late call by Mark Davis, who was way away from the play. The ref right in front of him just didn't call it. Unbelievable. But like the crew chief did, it was the right call. But like it's just, if you're gonna foul there, like do it early or make him make a shot over the top. Why are you giving him a soft foul with a little slap across the arm? Like it's just bad defense. DeRozan hits a three, whatever. Tough three. He's going to make shots. I thought the Blazers could have run clock a little bit more, but Shaedon Sharpe took a faster mid-range jumper than maybe he needed to. Like he could have bled the clock a little bit more. And then they fouled DeMar DeRozan. And now all of a sudden it's like you're under a minute and it's a 5-point game and now it's getting tight and they miss free throws. Sharpe misses 2 free throws. Denny misses 1 of 2. Klingon misses 1 of 2. Like, and then in they foul up 3 with 14 seconds left in regulation, and then they unable to foul up 3 with 12 seconds left in regulation, 11.9. The NBA fouls up 3 now. It's very common. Like I said, I watched the Thunder lose a game in the playoffs specifically because they fouled up 3. I'm from a place in beautiful Chapel Hill, North Carolina, where they're a foul up 3 team. Dean Smith was, and Roy Williams was. So in my sort of early basketball days, under 7 seconds, you foul up 3. But in college, you don't get to advance the ball. And so the math is a little bit different in the NBA. And I think now we've reached a point where it's just like, do not let them shoot a 3. I just think it's got to be team specific. I don't like doing it against the Kings. So as much as like, tough foul on Denny, tough decision-making and foul on Sharpe, bad free throw shooting on Denny and Klingon, right? Like, as much as the players get blamed, and they should, right? The players did not play well. They're the people who have the most impact on any individual moment in the game. I just don't like the strategy from Splitter in this game against this team. They're not shooting threes. They're not a volume shooting 3 team. They're not going to get them up quick. They don't have a bunch of shooters. They shoot both poorly and not very often, and they have not taken threes in this game. It's like, just dare DeMar DeRozan to make enough threes to beat you. Dare him to make enough threes to beat you. Stay at home, switch everything, keep them in front, make them shoot over a hand. So you foul up 3. Russell Westbrook hits the free throws, right? But I don't love it. I don't love it for the Kings, and I don't love it for the Blazers. When you have Drew Holiday at the end of games and you have someone who's both comfortable coming to get the ball as a point guard and also like a good free throw shooter, it makes a lot more sense. But you not only don't have your point guard, Toumani Camara has fouled out, so you don't have your inbounder. Now you're just asking for trouble. You're asking for trouble. That inbounds turnover sets up sets up a situation where in regulation where they do have to foul up 3, so they weren't even able to get the free throws up, and then you foul again. After you turn the ball over in that first inbounds because you don't have your inbounder, you don't have any point guards, then you leave Klingon in the game. I don't understand that. Why is Donovan Klingon in the game? And in regulation, maybe it's fine, right? Maybe it's fine. He hits 1, misses 1, right? But I just, in overtime, why on earth is Donovan Klingon in the game with under 20 seconds left, 17.4 when they get the ball? The Kings have a final timeout. It's a 1-point game. Why is he in the game? Why is he in the game? Like, to be totally clear, Sharpe's out. Minutes limit. Toumani's out. Foul out. So what I'm asking for is them to put in Caleb Love. Caleb Love is fearless, complimentary, and Caleb Love is also fearless, derogatory. So, like, he's maybe not the best option to throw into the mix in a 1-point game with 17 seconds left, but I do not like putting Donovan Klingon, 5 of 11 from the free throw line, in the position to get the ball. He's missed half his free throws. He missed a crucial one at the end of regulation. I do not like putting him in that situation where he's going to have to face his fears again. This isn't a learning experience. You're trying to win a freaking basketball game. And if the Kings are losing and have a timeout, one, you can, after you take Klingon out and put Love in, you can put Klingon back into the game during the second free throw to get a rebound. Great. So you can sub him back in without a timeout. Fine. Put him in between free throws, sub him back in. You might have to choose who you sub in. So maybe if they do end up fouling Love, you have to take like Sissoko or Chris Murray out, whatever. But like live with it. And moreover, the Kings, after you do that, the Kings are going to call a freaking timeout. The Kings are going to call a freaking timeout. Regardless, they're going to call a timeout because they're 94 feet from the rim and they have a timeout and there's 16 and a half seconds left in the game. Regardless, if it's a 3-point game or it's a 1-point game, whatever the scenario, they're going to call a timeout. Klingon should not be in the game. I mentioned this before, is that like my critiques of Splitter are mostly just game management stuff. He took a challenge I didn't love on a Tumani charge, and lost that challenge that left him with just 2 timeouts for a long stretch at the end of the game, like heading into the fourth quarter. Luckily for him, Doug Christie happened to take 2 timeouts in the first 5 minutes of the fourth quarter as the Kings were like getting run off on. So the Blazers not having timeouts didn't matter. But then like you get to the end of the game, you've already used your like just timeout management stuff. I feel like sometimes Splitter holds on to too many timeouts and goes through the use it or lose it without using that third timeout and just burns it, like lets it die on the vine. And in this case, and he's done it in the past too, calls too many early or challenges ones that's like just keep it in your pocket type of thing. And like the foul on Tumani is meaningful because he ended up fouling out, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, just the little game management stuff. I don't love fouling up 3. They foul up 3 in overtime as well. And DeMar DeRozan hits 2 free throws to cut it to 1 with 17.4 seconds left. Just make them make a 3. Make them shoot the 3. Trust your defense. Instead, he hits both free throws. You can't get the ball in. You have to call a timeout. You're now out of timeouts, and you keep your center in who's missed a bunch of free throws, and the ball finds him because they're going to deny everyone and not deny Klingon, right? Like that's the move. And you win the game because you got a foul that they don't usually call, and you hit it, and you go and you leave there with the victory. And I've gone a little bit long here, but I want to close on this. So the refrain from everyone in the locker room, and I believe from talking to folks in the locker room, it seems like Dame said this as well. He spoke after the game, and Tiago Splitter said it as well, is that it is so much better to learn when you're winning, to learn lessons with a win. Because when the Blazers get to April or whatever, the way this game went doesn't matter, like it doesn't matter. I think this is more like in the moment, you feel like this team has some crunch time problems. Some of it is personnel, just not enough point guards. If you have a point guard, you have a stabilizer out there to just like handle inbounds passes, either as a passer or as someone who's like has just much more natural experience coming to get the ball. But like, I think there's value in learning this lesson, but I also, and I think this is a classic runaway and hide win. This is like you win the game. You probably shouldn't have won it. You tried to lose in regulation. You tried to lose in overtime. They just wouldn't let you do it. You got a fortunate call, not the wrong call, but a fortunate call just because they actually called it. And you escape with the win. Run away and hide. Do not give it back. Run away and hide. Blazers play the Kings again on Saturday. Before the game, Tiago Splitter said like, he didn't really like playing these sets. Like he doesn't like playing the same team twice in a row. He says he didn't have them when he played in the league. It doesn't feel right to him. And then asked afterwards, he said, I told you I didn't like these. I love them now. I can't wait to play them again and play better and all those things. You get this. The beauty of the NBA is you get another shot at it, right? I think you can learn a lesson from this. Splitter said his message coming into the game from this team was about not relaxing. It's so easy after you win a game in the NBA to relax. We feel good. We're the place we need to be. And he felt like at the up 18 with 5 minutes left, his team relaxed. Hopefully this is you're learning your lesson. Close out the game, play a full 48 minutes, but there's also just some game management stuff from the coach. I think there's some player stuff that they can clean up, and there's some game management stuff from the coach. Don't have a terrible free throw shooter out the end of the game. Foul up 3 is a philosophy that should be applied based on the situation, and this Kings situation was absolutely not the one to do it. It was this is the teams that bomb away from 3 and have great 3-point shooters off the dribble, fine. This freaking Kings team that took 19 threes in 53 minutes, let them try to beat you from there. Let them try to do it, right? Let DeMar DeRozan, who's never been a 3-point shooter, try to do it from there. Look, hey. Don't give it back. As I always say on the show, don't give it back. A gross win, an ugly win, an unsatisfying win, a win that felt like a loss probably twice over. Don't give it back. Blazers get to move forward. They get to play the Kings again. They get a chance for the sweep. And next time you hear my voice, we will talk about that next Kings game on Saturday evening. Tell your friends about the program. Tell them they can get it wherever they get podcasts and also on YouTube. I appreciate you listening. I will talk to you soon.